No team has spent more money getting ready for 2013 baseball season than the Los Angeles Dodgers.
There's no guarantee. You can't just write a check and expect to win.
This week, we chat with the man who writes the checks, CEO Stan Kasten.
Yes!
The Arizona Diamondbacks are on a tighter budget, but their fan-friendly approach proves that leaner doesn't have to be meaner.
It was to make it the most interactive facility in baseball. And fans walk away and say, that was great, I can't wait to get back.
And the Final Four brings college basketball's best teams together in Atlanta. How is one of the sport's biggest sponsors using its home court advantage?
One of the main things in the backdrop was our vision around being #1 in the industry, around merging sports, entertainment, and music.
When it comes to sports business, April is the coolest month. Let's get started in style on Sportfolio. Hello, I'm Rick Horrow, and welcome to Sportfolio, Bloomberg's weekly inside look at the business of sports. It's opening week of Major League Baseball season, and it's amazing to recall that just 1 year ago, the Los Angeles Dodgers were still in bankruptcy court. The team's sale to a group headed by Mark Walter, Magic Johnson, and Stan Kasten was not approved until the end of April. What a difference a year makes. Stan Kasten and his partners have spent the last 11 months rebuilding the team, the stadium, and the Dodger brand. And we're delighted that Stan Kasten has found the time to join us from our Los Angeles bureau to talk about the journey. Hey, Stan, I know you're a guy who looks forward, not backward, but after the McCourt disaster, how important was it for you to work quickly to regain the trust of the fans?
Well, you know, we thought this market had enormous potential because of its size and because of the history and the great depth and loyalty of this enormous fan base. So it wasn't so much a matter of importance long term, but we thought, you know, to make the investment pay off, we should invest more right away, as quickly as possible, to start reaping the benefits of a fan base that is, as I said, this loyal, deep, passionate. And so far, we're happy with the results.
Well, obviously a visionary guy, and it's all about investments. And let's talk about those investments you made on the baseball side. Your opening day payroll, over $200 million. But also you beefed up your scouting and player development departments in the offseason. And it should bring down salary costs in the long run. Is that an organizational goal for you?
No question about it. I think, but it's not, you know, for economic reasons. It's for building the best team reasons. Every team that's ever had sustained success has done it on a foundation of scouting and player development. And that is, by the way, the old Brooklyn Dodger, LA Dodger model. They pioneered this, and successful teams over the years have emulated it. And so we want to get back to that. But that takes 2, 3, 4 years to accomplish. And in the meantime, because of our fan base, we wanted to provide the best team that we could right now. So we made the moves that we made, which were aggressive last summer, and again aggressive this past offseason, to put the best team on the field that we can right now, while still paying a lot of attention to the longer-term process.
Well, and when we spoke with you last June, you said that upgrading Dodger Stadium was a top priority, and obviously it was. You put $100 million into ballpark improvements over the winter. Did you get everything on your list done?
We got, you know, I think we got everything done that you could fit into a 26-week period, and that was really the mission. What could we do at our first block of time that we had, and that was the upcoming off season? So we had something that was done to every concourse, widened them, added concession stands, added restrooms, and made history displays, kids areas, and of course these monster, gigantic, state-of-the-art HD scoreboards. So there's something for everyone. It was ambitious, but we had a very dedicated group of professionals that got it done. They didn't get it done a day early, but they did get it done on time.
Well, and when I checked in with you over the winter, you had that hard hat on, and you were taking the wheelbarrow out, and you were taking the bricks yourself. Yeah. Was that a bonding thing, or did they really need your help?
I carry my hard hat for all our photo ops. It's a good look. That's
Well, the other thing about checking in with you as far as ownership, we spoke with you last June, you were still getting used to working with the group, and you said that roles and responsibilities were still being determined. Tell us a little bit about how that's developing. I know Magic Johnson gave way to Sandy Koufax on the mound at opening day, so you still have some tricks up your sleeve.
Well, we want to keep it interesting, and it's worked out beautifully. We had a very good core of employees in the front office already. To those people, we tried to supplement with some more professionals, both on the business side and on the baseball side. That has worked out well. My relationship with my partners, starting with Mark Walter, has been outstanding. They've been supportive of everything that we've done. In fact, when I've been tempted to be cautious and prudent, they've encouraged me to be even more aggressive. So it really has been a joy. As you know, I've had a lot of fun in my career. I've been very, very lucky, but this is the most fun I've ever had in my life, and it's been just a blast.
And look what you've done in a short period of time. You've doubled the Dodgers season ticket base in a year, from 17,000 to over 30,000. That's a good indicator that people are buying into what you're doing. So now, is it all about winning on the field?
Well, that's an important part of it, you know, but look, we're the Dodgers, okay? We should be contending year in and year out. I don't know that we'll win every year, because we have to compete against some very good, very smart, very hard-working front offices, and there's no guarantee. You can't just write a check and expect to win. So we have a lot of hard work to do, but because of the position we're in, and as I said, because of the marketplace, we should be in a position to contend every year, and I hope that's the kind of product we're providing to our customers year in and year out.
Stick around for a couple minutes, if you don't mind. We want to talk about another big win for you, the Dodgers TV deal with Time Warner.
I'm ready to roll.
Coming up, the Dodgers didn't just get a big media rights deal. They're putting their brand on an entire new network. How will Sportsnet LA fit into Stan Kasten's plans for his team? We'll be back to find out as Sportfolio rolls on. Welcome back to Sportfolio. It's opening week of the 2013 baseball season, and Los Angeles Dodgers CEO Stan Kasten joins us from Bloomberg's LA bureau. Hey, Stan, Dodgers wrapping up the final year of a television deal with Fox Sports. 2014, you launched your own network, Sportsnet LA, in partnership with Time Warner. Why did you choose to start a network instead of just taking a big check?
Well, we thought this is the best way to provide the maximum amount of exposure to all our fans. As I've talked about before, we have the most extraordinarily large, broad, deep, passionate fan base. And if we could go to our own RSN, then we're going to be able to, that's the best opportunity we have to provide 24 hours of Dodger content, give fans a place to go 24/7, 12 months a year, something they've never been able to experience before. And the best way for us to deliver that was to keep control in our own network.
Well, we have to understand at this point, all of this is subject to approval by Major League Baseball, and we respect that. But according to some reports, you'll get $1 billion from Time Warner at the end of this year as a branding fee for a right to name the network Sportsnet LA. Is that a good way to begin a partnership?
Well, I don't know any of the details that have or haven't been finalized. There's a long way to go. We don't kick up for a year, so we have plenty of time for that and for all the stuff that goes through baseball. But I do think we're very comfortable with what we've embarked upon. We're very comfortable with the people that we will be working with to distribute our network. And as I said, it's a year away, so a lot of details are still being worked out.
All right, some programming insight. You talk about all Dodgers all the time. Is that what this network's going to do, or might you do what Yes Network does and add other college or pro sports programming?
You know, again, it's a year away. We don't know. Obviously, in being in that business, you're going to do whatever is best for your consumers. You know, it's a market-driven product, and I think we're going to start at the bedrock, the foundation, the anchor will be Dodgers and Dodger-related programming. But if there is a reason or a good, comfortable fix for additional programming, I'm sure we'll look at that as well.
All right, well, let's talk synergies for a second. Guggenheim Partners owns the Dodgers. They own Dick Clark Productions. Now they own a 24-hour cable network. Could we see sports and entertainment synergies down the line?
I wouldn't rule it out. You know, everyone knows everyone. The relationships are good. When there's a fit, we'll certainly consider it. That would only make sense. You know, but there's nothing concrete on the table now. It's just that we have things that we know about in related companies, as you mentioned, and if there's ever an opportunity, we'd certainly talk to those people. We have a good relationship with all the companies you mentioned.
And so we know it's too far ahead and we're only conceptualizing, but in 2014, the LA cable subscriber gets the Dodgers on Sportsnet LA, the Lakers on TWC Sports, the Angels and Clippers on Fox. Are you concerned about a pushback on subscriber fees? Not so much from consumers, but maybe from legislation?
Well, you know, I think all of these things are market-driven, and in every market, one market after another, these things always find their own level, and they find a way to get carried with the best programming, obviously, taking priority. I think we're always going to be a primary premium product because we're the Dodgers. And whatever the proper level is, I'm sure that's where it'll go. I'm not particularly concerned about pitfalls right now because, as I said, in city after city after city, there are new deals made year in, year out, and they always find a level that is comfortable for the consumer. Because let's face it, the point of this is to attract and keep as many consumers as possible. It's going to have to be something that works and fits for them.
Now, the last question is very important to me as a consumer of big-time, world-class television product. Now that you have your own network, are you going to be hosting your own show?
No, but we're on the lookout. If you hear of any really good sports talk talent, if you hear of any, please let me know, would you, Rick?
I knew it, man. Stan Kasten, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck this season.
All right, thanks very much.
The Arizona Diamondbacks may not have billions in the bank, but they can compete with any team when it comes to business savvy and customer satisfaction. A look inside the D-backs coming up next. And here's this week's Stumper. What was the first Major League Baseball team to draw 4 million fans at home in a single season? Answer coming up on Sportfolio. Here's the answer to our Stumper. The first Major League Baseball team to draw 4 million fans at home in a single season? The Toronto Blue Jays, 1991. Unlike the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Arizona Diamondbacks aren't near the top of baseball's list of high earners or free spenders. In 2012, they were 19th in home attendance, and they start the 2013 season 18th in player payroll. But Dom Chu went down to Phoenix in spring training and found out that there's a lot to like about the Diamondbacks by the numbers.
The crack of a bat, the smell of freshly cut grass, and the taste of an ice-cold beer. Nothing quite says spring like going out to a ball game. This year, more fans flocked to Scottsdale, Arizona during spring training to watch the Arizona Diamondbacks than any other team in baseball. That's due in part to the team's multi-million-dollar spring training facility they share with the Colorado Rockies. Built in 2011, Salt River Fields is a place Diamondbacks CEO Derek Hall is proud to show off.
In the design, it was to make it the most interactive facility in baseball. And I really got that idea and concept from my time with the Dodgers in Dodgertown. It was very special in that fans could walk with the players, literally walk with the players as they came out of the clubhouse to the fields. That's what we have here. We're going to have a lot of fans coming here for the...
Hall, one of baseball's most likable CEOs, has created a fan-first culture that is filtered all the way through the organization.
I mean, there's some things that they stress from the top down, starting with our ownership and down to the front office. The thing they spent the most time on during our first meeting in spring training is, the fan interaction, especially here during spring training.
Welcome to the Diamondbacks.
Signing likable players such as fan favorite Goldschmidt has also been a priority for the Diamondbacks, a mid-market team lacking a payroll the likes of the Yankees and Red Sox. But for the Diamondbacks, it's not all about star power.
Your good organizations, I think, is not just looking at the skill set that a potential prospect or superstar player possesses, but some of those intangibles, which this organization is very keen on. Having a ball club that's going to go out there and take the field every day and play hard and never give up and play with their hair on fire and be good entertainers out there and to sign autographs and to give them a show. You may not get there, but I think that's all fans expect.
Fans have also come to expect hospitality at the Diamondbacks' regular season home, Chase Field, just 20 miles away in downtown Phoenix, where the cost for a family of 4 to attend a game is the lowest in the majors at just $146. That's 30% below the Major League Baseball average. By the way, the ballpark also boasts the cheapest beers at just $4 a piece. And that fan-first philosophy is apparently working. Despite the team's roller coaster win-loss record, the Diamondbacks' annual revenue has steadily increased over the last 10 years from $122 million to $186 million. Owner Ken Kendrick says that's by design.
I think when you talk about the bottom line, it's important to be financially responsible. And yet our focus as we run this team is to basically take any profits that we make and invest them back in the product. And we've done that over the time that I've run the club.
We're not going to win every year, and we always have to find a way to win even when we lose. You're not going to win every game, so how do you have a fan leave a game after you lose, say 2-1, dramatically in the ninth, you almost win, or you lose in the top of the ninth, and fans walk away and say, that was great, I can't wait to get back.
Are fans buying what the Diamondbacks are selling? Derek Hall says that as of a week ago, season ticket sales were holding steady compared to the same time last spring, which is encouraging given the team's disappointing .500 season in 2012. The D-backs last drew 3 million fans in 2002, the year after they won the World Series. Coming up, it may be April, but we have one more weekend of March Madness. The Final Four tips off in Atlanta, and guess which local company couldn't be happier? We'll talk college hoops and Coca-Cola when Sportfolio returns. Get Sportfolio wherever you go on the Bloomberg TV Plus app for iPad. Next week on the show, join us as we analyze the Bloomberg Sportfolio Horror Sports Ventures Power 100. It's our exclusive ranking of the most influential athletes both on and off the field. Check it out at 9:30 on Wednesday. If there was a Power 100 for sports sponsorship, Coca-Cola would be a fixture on the list. Coke and its various brands have major marketing, advertising commitments with just about every global sport. College basketball, of course, no exception. Coke's been an NCAA corporate champion since 2002. With the Final Four coming to the hometown of the company's headquarters, Coca-Cola is going all out this weekend. Joining us from Bloomberg's Atlanta Bureau, Coca-Cola Senior Vice President for Entertainment and Sports Marketing, Sharon Byers. Sharon, great opportunity for Coke. You're essentially the host sponsor of one of the world's marquee events. How do you approach that strategically?
As you mentioned, our relationship with the NCAA goes back 11 years, and it's been a strong relationship because we believe in the same thing that the NCAA does, which is all around education around student athletes. And when we were thinking about how we wanted to bring the NCAA to our hometown in Atlanta, one of the main things in the backdrop was our vision around being #1 in the industry around merging sports, entertainment, and music. And one of the major things that we've done this year is really enhanced our Saturday concert. It's called the Coke Zero Concert. It's an all-day event. It's free to anyone who wants to come. The level of artists that we're actually having this year, I personally think are one of the best. We open up with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, who have absolutely exploded in the last couple months here in the U.S. We also have Flo Rida and Ludacris, which are always great artists to have because they really pump up the fans and get the excitement going. And then what we're going to do is actually take a break. We're going to take a break from the music and have our first ever community viewing party. So those that have tickets to the game will head down to the Georgia Dome, but those 100,000 fans that won't have tickets to the game can actually stay down in Centennial Park, have a huge viewing party for the first game, and enjoy all the great competition that will happen with that first game. And once that game is complete, we're going to bring on our last artist, who's Muse. So it's going to be a really long, exciting, really fun day for everyone that's downtown.
Well, and the 100,000 people who come to Atlanta for the games, of course, prolific, entertain like nowhere else. But the multiples of what you're doing, social media, television, across all those platforms, that's really significant. How do you justify the large campaign for such a small in-viewing audience, knowing that there's a much larger viewing an audience that actually sees it socially and otherwise?
We have a very integrated marketing focus. So from the time the fans land here in Atlanta on their plane, as soon as they're going up the big escalators, they'll see a huge celebration of 75 years of March Madness. And it's the first time that the airport has allowed us in 17 years to take over that iconic signage. Throughout the city, as they leave the airport, there'll be tons of billboards with Coke Zero messaging that's very clever, basketball related messaging. There'll also be street teams throughout the city visiting many of our retailers, sampling Coke Zero, sampling Powerade. And one of the things that we did this year that's also unique is that we launched an app on NCAA Final Four Atlanta, and if you click on the Coke Zero Insider's Guide, it's actually the social side of this app. So fans can go out there and see all the activity that's going on here in Atlanta. We'll actually have many of our celebrities and athletes tweeting about their experiences here in Atlanta.
You've got a lot going on multiple platforms. It's going to be the center